Hey, this is Ed Logan. I want to welcome you to Fruit for Your Life. Today, I wanted to share with you how I'm able to keep my weight off. As many of you all know who have been keeping up with me, I have lost 70 pounds. Hey, I'm actually keeping it off. As a matter of fact, I've never been able to do that. But I wanted to share with you the ways in which I'm able to keep it off. And for those of you who are trying to get to where I'm at, I'm going to give you some pointers to help you keep that weight off once you lose it. You're going to get there, all right? So let's just go ahead and get started. The first thing that I had to realize, I had to change my whole mindset. My whole mind and way of thinking had to alter because for 53 years, I had thought one way. And then as I went through this process, I was actually 52 when I started. Now I'm 53. So through this whole process, I've had to re-gear my whole mind. And I'll get into some in-depth stuff with you about like what I deal with now when I'm having to go through these particular things. But it is a retooling of your mind. Listen, if you don't change your mind, if you don't change the way you think, the way you process things, you will not keep it up. So it has to be like this whole shift going on in your mind to be able to keep up. Once you change, once you alter the way that you live, you're going to have to make sure you change that. All right. So one of the things that I realized was I treated food like it was my master. Meaning I obeyed it. I did whatever it told me to do or whatever my appetite actually is. It wasn't let's be real. It wasn't the food. Food can't communicate to you. Food can't tell you what to do. Food can't tell you where you need to go. It's not saying to you, hey, go and pick me up at McDonald's. It doesn't do that. Okay, it is actually our appetite that is within us. Okay, so let me tell you a couple of things that are hormones within your body and that I had to learn to adjust to. Okay, so one of these hormones is going to be called ghrelin. Okay, ghrelin is the hormone that actually signals to you that you're hungry. It releases and it gives you the urge of hunger. Okay, now you have to also realize when you're full, and that's leptin. Okay, leptin is the hormone that is released to let you know when you're actually being satisfied. So once you realize that when you're hungry, it is actually a hormone that is released that is telling you that you're hungry, you no longer cease to look at it like as it is something that controls you. You simply say to your mind, oh, okay, so that's ghrelin operating right now. It's making me hungry. So it's telling me that I need to eat. So therefore, I begin to eat those things that are good for me. And when I'm satisfied, like when you eat fruit, whole food, you know when you're satisfied. The problem is when we eat processed food, it doesn't quite communicate to us that we are satisfied. A lot of empty calories, okay, because it's processed. All the nutritional and nutrient stuff that is in it is removed, so it's not really communicating to your body that you're getting full. That's why you can watch TV and you can go through a whole bag of something not even realizing. So that's one of the things that I had to learn. Okay, also I had to realize that when I ate food, it gave me pleasure. So I wasn't eating because I was hungry. I was eating because I was receiving pleasure from food. It's just like any other physical pleasure. You know, you like to feel pleasure. You don't like to feel pain. And that's what food would do to you, is it will give you pleasure. So I had to learn how to deal with this. And so what I had to do was I learned to swap my food. And what do I mean by that? Okay, so if I'm used to eating Danishes, if I'm used to eating candy bars and things like that, I had to learn another food. I had to swap it and replace it. So a thing for me now, like what a candy bar would be, is now I like to eat nuts. Okay, so many of you who follow me know that I love cashews. So I use cashews. Like when I want something sweet and I'm ready to eat something, I can just simply eat some cashews. I don't have to have anything sweet per se. but I want something that I can chew on, munch on, and something that I can feel satiated, which means satisfied pretty much. I want to feel satisfied when I eat something. So you just have to do your food swaps. You need to learn, what it was that you normally ate, and you put something else in its place and you transfer that. So if I'm hungry and I want to eat something that I normally would eat, I would just simply swap it out. You have to learn how to do that. If you don't, you set yourself up for failure. All right. You're also going to have to let yourself know what is good food and what is not good food when you do your swapping. So you swap the bad for the good. All right. And so when you swap the bad and you start bringing in the good, see, you don't have guilt that you have to deal with. And so I don't have any guiltiness when I eat. Okay, maybe if I go overboard on some nuts, I'll have a little bit because I know I probably should have stopped. But if nuts is the worst thing that I'm eating and that's the biggest problem that I have, I'll deal with that any day over a Snicker bar. I'll deal with that any day over a king size pack of Reese cups. I'll deal with that anytime overeating a double-decker Little Debbie oatmeal cream pie. I know some of y'all know what I'm talking about, especially if you deal with that. All right. Also, social gatherings. You have to learn how to manage your social gatherings. That means before you go to your social gathering, whether it be a party, whether it be a family reunion, whether it be anything, you're already discussing with yourself, okay, this is what I'm going to eat if they have it. This is what I will not eat. You need to set those parameters up before you go so that you are not caught off set, okay? So I know for sure if I go to a party, if I go to a family reunion, there's only going to be a couple of things that I'm going to eat. If they have cut fruit, I'm going to eat it, okay? I'm going to eat the fruit regardless. But if they have sliced or cut fruit, now this is processed, okay? So what do I mean by processed? Not processed by man, but it's just been cut into pieces, different from what it was when it was in its whole form. It's only been sliced, okay? So that's the kind of processed fruit that I'll eat. I will not eat fruit that comes from a can. I won't touch it. I won't eat fruit that has had added sugar and all that stuff. I will not touch it, okay? So you have to determine what you're going to eat. Now, if they have salads, maybe vegetables, cut raw vegetables, I will do those, all right? So these are the things you're going to have to set up in your mind. You're going to have to draw the line and say, if it's whole, if it's alive, I'm going to eat it. If it's not whole, if it's not alive, I will not touch it. All right, so set these things up for yourself so that you will win when these things come around. Okay, let's talk about family. Listen, your family, once they see that you are not playing, once you go through weeks and even months and your family realizes what you are doing, they're going to support you. They won't discourage you. Not that my family ever did. They were glad to see me change. But they will help you. So if it looks like you're about to make a bad decision, listen, I do this all the time. If there's something at the house and I see it, a lot of times, if I don't agree with it, I'll play like I'm going to eat it. And they'll be like, Dad, you can't eat that. Well, I'm like, well, why not? Why can't I eat it? It's here. And I'm really saying that to pick at some of my older children. I'm saying that because I'm picking at them, letting them know that I wouldn't eat that. Hey, that's probably not good for you. So it's just some of the things that you do, some of the things that I do when I'm really trying to teach and train my children on what is proper when it comes to eating and what is not. Now, let me say this with your family, just leave them alone, okay? You have trained them to eat the way that they're eating. And it's going to have to be your consistency. It's going to have to be what you're doing that's going to alter them from eating the way that they've been eating. But they're going to protect you. They're going to make sure that you're not going to eat what it is that they're eating. See, that's what's wild about it is if I tried to grab something and eat, like I was going to eat it, my children would automatically, even my wife would be like, honey, you can't eat that. So they know you and they want to see the best for you. And even if they're not totally eating the way you eat, they're still going to protect you and help you in that way. Also, your family is going to, hey, when they go grocery shopping, they're going to get those things that they know pertain to you. So that helps you in itself. When you have your family who is helping you, that really helps a lot. Okay, so your family, once they realize that, they don't tempt you. They don't fix things that they know that is going to be hard for you to deal with, that it's going to be hard and kind of throw you off track. They won't do that. They'll fix things that are kind of becoming moderate towards what you are eating so that you can join in with them. My family, we eat more salad now than I think we've ever eaten. So you're actually helping to change your family the way that they have done things. It's actually going to be a good thing by them watching you be consistent in what you are doing. Okay, some of the other things that really keep you going is the encouragement that you get. So you get encouragement from your family. Your family talks, to you and say, hey, you look good, or man, Dad is still keeping it, or they come up behind you and hug you and like, Dad, there's not a whole lot of you to hug like there used to be. So they're encouraging you. They love to see you change like that, even though they may not. They still love to see the difference that you are making in your own life. So you have to keep that up because you're actually teaching them. You're teaching them a lot by what you're doing. Even your friends, friends that you haven't seen in a while, they'll look at you and be like, is that Ed? Man, that is Ed. Man, you look good. I get that all the time. And see, that is encouraging. That makes you feel good inside. It doesn't make you proud. I'm not saying it in a proud, arrogant way, but it makes you feel good knowing that your friends have taken notice, and then they start asking you, so let me ask you. You kind of get these questions to the side. So, what are you doing? And then you start to explain to them what you're doing. And they're like, man, I'm gonna check you out, man. I'm gonna check to see, how things are going. So once again, encouragement really keeps you going. Even on your job, people at your job, when they haven't seen you for a while, they will come and encourage you and, hey, Ed, man, you look good. Like, are you still eating that fruit? Yep, still eating the fruit. Everybody takes notice of what you're doing. So don't give up. Keep going. Keep it up. It's easy to keep it off, okay? Once you take it off and you create that lifestyle for yourself, you've altered everything in your life when it comes to how you eat, what you're doing. It's easy to keep it up the longer you go. A lot of times we'll do diets and we'll drop off within a week. Maybe we'll drop off within 2 weeks. But once you start doing it for weeks and months, and longer, you're going 6 months, then it's just a way of life. Now, you put a Snicker in front of me now, I won't touch it. You won't get me to do it. You put a Little Debbie triple decker in front of me now, I won't look at it. Why? Because my mindset has altered and I know I won't touch it because I know it's not good for me. All right. The last and the greatest thing, the reason and how I'm able to keep it off is that I know that it's pleasing to my Father. I know that He has set up my whole course of life for me to get to this place, for me to get to this point, so that I can even affect other people. And that's what you all have to realize. The Most High's timing is perfect. So when you get here, when you've lost your weight, when you're holding it down, you're being steady at it, you're not falling off of the wagon, you're doing those things now that is a part of you. See, He allows you to affect other people, and He allows you to bring about change in other people because people are watching you. People, when they see you, you are their hope. Okay, so if they see you change, they feel like, hey, I can do that too. But that's really the biggest thing. is I've learned to begin to take care of the temple that he has given me. Let me say it in layman's terms. I've learned to take care of this vehicle that he has put me in while I'm here on this earth. Now I have learned to change the oil. I have learned to knock the dents out of it. Though some of the dents are tough, I'm learning to knock the dents out of it. I'm learning to add the little paint over the scrapes. I'm learning to do all of it. I'm learning to polish. Those things are so important in you keeping your vehicle changed, keeping it looking good before the Most High. It's an awful thing for us to walk in front of the Most High on that day, and the vehicle in which we were driving is all dented up. The tires on it is bald. The windshield is cracked. The leather is coming up off of the roof. The cloth inside, the material is hanging down. And we've beat up and we've destroyed our body and have not taken care of the temple in which he dwells in. Let's just make sure we're not in that situation. Let's make sure that when we stand before him, we present ourselves as a radiant bride before him, because we learned how to go back and we learned how to fix those things that were broken in our body. We showed him that we appreciated and we love the change that he has brought about in our life. Hey, I hope this was good for you. I just had to share with you how I'm able to keep it off. And these are the ways in which I have learned how to keep it off. And I know that you'll do the same, all right? All right, I'll see you all on the next video as well. This is how I'm able to keep it off. All right, y'all take care. Bye-bye.